Hi, my name is Sean Mahoney, and for my final project, I chose to work in Ubuntu and MySQL to create kind of a little back office application for a friend of mine. He has been starting a auto repair business at his house. It's like a secondary business, and he had asked me a while ago about how to create a little database so he could keep track of jobs that he can perform, the costs that he has, customers that he has, who he's done work for, and I went one step further and made him a table of people who owe him money. So we'll start right here with the DNS. So if we ping stonewall.auto, which is the domain that I chose, you can see that everything's working correctly there. Then we jump over to Firefox. Here is stonewall.auto. I kind of made a home page here that just says, can you see me? And of course the answer is yes. But this would of course be used more for like a customer page where they'd be able to maybe see some information about work he could do, but I really focused on his end and the stuff that he's done. So if we'll start here, we'll jump over to customers. You can see right here he has a list people he's done work for, and myself, a friend of ours, and of course Jenny at 867-5309, and then just like a random John Smith. If we were to edit customers, say we want to take Mr. Smith out of there, his customer code was 4. We enter that in there. Customers removed successfully. Go back to customers now. No John Smith there. Oh, but we're going to do some work for John Smith now, so we'll go in, and this time we will add John Smith, and I believe his phone number was 123-456-7890, very exclusive 123 area code. We'll add the customer. You see the customer was added successfully, and we jump back. There he is. Now he has a customer code of 5 instead of 4. We'll find that acceptable. We'll go take a look at jobs. These are a list here of jobs that Jason can do and the associated cost. You're able to edit these as well. Jump in there. So we want to remove a job, we could. If we want to add a job, let's say he learned how to replace windshield, and that's going to cost $90. We can add that job. Jump back over to jobs, and at the bottom of the list there is replace windshield for $90. Let's say that he tried that and it did not go very well, so I forgot to look at what the code was. So maybe he doesn't want to be doing that anymore because he did a terrible job. Go back in. 13, the functionality on here is the same as it was on the previous, on the customer page. We can, oh, what happened there? Looks like we have a bad link. We can take that out of there. Go back, and number 13 has been removed. Work completed is a bit more complicated of a table. You can see here that we have a list of jobs that have been done and who they've been done for. So this was a little bit more complicated of, go take a look here at the back end of the jobs completed. You can see the query was a little more complicated because we had to select invoice number and job code, completed jobs from, or the customer code from completed jobs, then paid last name and first name from completed jobs. And then we had a where statement to conjoin those two. And then if we scroll down here, this is where things got a little more complicated for me as well, because we had to make a couple of different result sets. One to create that table, and then we needed to create that more in-depth table here and get that button on each one. And the reason we had to put a button on each one is now we're able to mark if someone has paid. So if we looked over here at the money owed, right now we have a total that each person owes for the work that has been completed. If you can see here, the jobs were completed for certain people, and we basically have a Boolean right here. We have, 1 equaling paid, 0 equaling not paid. So I paid for this job, but I still owe him for these two. Now, as we saw on money owed here, Mr. Gangstad owes $15. But let's say he completed his payment there. He gave Jason Stonewall the $15 he owed. We can click mark make paid here. It says the invoice payment is received. If we head over to money owed now, he is gone from the list. So I ended up using quite a few pages. I learned a little bit late about the include, which I wish I had learned earlier. So I did include the connector using include each time. But I kind of foolishly copy and pasted my CSS several times. And, like I was saying earlier, a lot of the add jobs, add customer, remove job, remove, these are pretty simple. They're just little inserts. Things got much more complicated in the jobs completed one. So we had a few different queries where we're selecting all of this information and doing different things with it. Particularly when we got into like make paid, where we had to update, we had to post that hidden field here, and that was something I struggled with for a while. I had to use this hidden field to give a value to each of these buttons that showed up on every line, so that we could update such a complicated query. And then here on the make paid, the query is even more complicated because we need the first name, the last name, we need the sum of all the costs, because we don't want individual, we just want to know that they owe us money. We want all that money paid. So we had to select from a couple of different tables, and we had to join them here, and we had to join them here to get all three of those tables. And then we only wanted to do that if paid equals 0. Like we said, that was our Boolean value. And then we're able to create that table here by fetching those results. So, what he has there is a pretty functional little back office. Of course, I didn't spend a ton of time on the design, but I did make this really cute little logo for him here. Photoshop, made this nice little backdrop. Kind of created a nav bar of sorts. Didn't spend a whole ton of time on it. I was much more concerned about the functionality, but there you have it.